Matt, have you managed to stick your dick in a popcorn container yet?
Welcome to Multiple Nerdgasm with your hosts, Matt, Luke, and Dan. Multiple Nerdgasm, your guide to all things nerdy.
Welcome.
Have you?
I do have some sexy popcorn container news.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
going tomorrow
Oh, fantastic.
to see Dune Part 2, and I will be doing my best to get a worm popcorn container.
Denis Villeneuve, director of said movie Dune 2, or Dune, what's it called? Dune the Return. He's come out and said, what the fuck is with that popcorn thing?
I saw an interview with Rebecca Ferguson where they were talking about it. She was like, what is it? And then she looked it up on her phone and she was like, oh my God. And then she was like, wait, what? How does it? And then the girl's like, oh, you put your hand in to get the popcorn. She's like, oh no.
It's like a fleshlight for freaks.
Yeah.
Like, I can understand putting your hand in, it's cool, but getting it out?
Oh yeah, you just want to leave it in there, don't you?
Yeah.
Swish it around.
Yeah.
So I really do hope that you do get one.
So
Would you prefer a popcorn tin with the Denis Villeneuve worm mouth or the Kyle MacLachlan worm mouth?
It's just like a flashlight. Do you want Stoya or do you want
Yeah, that's right.
Riley Reid?
I love that story was your guy. And I love that you know two women who literally were modelled.
Well, I'm not
Don't pretend you had to look that up. Yeah. Well, if you're going to buy a Stoya, don't buy a vagina. She had more than one mould taken.
I think the Denis Villeneuve worms are cool in a like creepy way, in a way that was it David Lynch was the other one you gave? I was
yes
it with the.
I said Kyle MacLachlan, but not that he's responsible for the worm.
Worm.
Yeah.
Well,
.com.
I know that one of our listeners has already seen it and says it's amazing.
Is it somebody we'd expect?
Many people
to have gone and seen it quickly. I got invited to see it yesterday, and I couldn't. But I'm going to try to get it next week.
You can go see it at IMAX.
Yeah, except that involves crossing the Harbour Bridge, which I no longer like doing. Now that I live on the north side, I just don't like going into the city.
In like your 20s.
Well, you don't have to pay the toll to cross down. You just got to pay it to get back, unless that's changed.
Yeah, no, now it's gone. Now they've paid for it finally.
Oh, there's no tolls at all.
No toll.
Wait, no.
Oh, wow.
As far as I know.
They don't just take the tolls away.
No, they took the toll away when the M4 had paid for itself.
That's
and then they put it back, didn't they?
Yes, at some point.
For something else. Yeah. Well, no, the toll booths are still gone. But then there might be that BP thing.
I remember when I got a nosebleed on the M4 right before I pulled up to the toll booth, and it was like in the olden days when it was a human, right? Because we're old listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I literally had to pull up. This is in my my Corolla, my little green Corolla that I had when we were in high school. Like, I would have been like 17 or 18. Just nose started pissing out blood everywhere while I was driving along because it was so fucking hot and I had no air conditioning in that car.
And all that.
Yeah. So my first car didn't have any air conditioning either.
Yeah. So I had to pull up.
That was the window.
Which is fucking blood everywhere, and I'm like, it's not on my hand. It's all right. Handing them
don't get that on you.
This is the one time that they should just wave you through.
Like the episode of Degrassi.
Yeah.
It's on you.
Yeah. I've got AIDS. I don't think he ever yelled out, I've got AIDS.
I don't think I ever yelled that.
But that was definitely the theme.
I wonder, would either of your children know what this action is if you were motioning, like rolling down a car window?
Oh, certainly not.
They would have no idea, would they?
No. Well, I mean, my daughter would know what this action was if it was.
Yeah, I was going to say they're not. They don't give a shit about stuff like that. But
but I get you. Your point is taken. No, in fact, I've met humans who don't know what a cassette tape is.
Yes, me too. Yeah.
So that's.
I've actually had to explain to some people who work in IT what a floppy disk is.
Yeah.
They've got one tattooed on me.
What is this 3D save logo?
Yeah.
Or even I've shown the tape drive for the Commodore 64, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know it played music." It's not what it's for, mate. It's not what it's for. You put programmed.
But also, but if you told somebody, no, you could store data on anything that can display a binary code, i.e., something on and something not on,
it records
which could
the
be
noise
audio
of the data.
Nobody's going to understand that who wasn't there.
If you've got one of those double tape decks, you could copy a tape, copy the
data tape,
copy again.
Yeah. I mean, you could listen back to it if you wanted to hear something horrible sounding. My niece has started collecting CDs as a retro hipster type thing. Yeah.
I've started collecting CDs of movie soundtracks because there was an incident where this is they've taken away digital things. It's been a thing. They actually movie soundtracks is quite bad in that often the studios will only license them under some weird thing where once it's played so many times, it just gets removed. Like, for example, one of the Transformers movies, right? Bad movies, great soundtrack. Steve Polanski is very good.
Oh, you're talking about that. So I thought you meant the animated film from the 80s. I was going to say bad movie. Fuck you.
No. One of the Transformers ones, the one with Marky Mark. I think the first one with Marky Mark. I forget the name of it. Anyway, the soundtrack's very good because Steve Polanski is very good.
I liked it.
And it was on Spotify until whatever deal it was like, no. And it's gone now.
A lot of soundtracks aren't on Spotify. Actually, earlier today, I was trying to find some, I think the Underworld soundtrack.
They don't license it
on
the same way.
There's also the weird thing that happened with the Scott Pilgrim soundtrack, where some of the songs were still there, but others were, no, you can't listen to these ones anymore.
Yeah.
Remember?
It was, I've been buying CDs for that reason. Because I would like to.
And do you remember the Queen of the Damned soundtrack?
Yes.
Couldn't be the same as the songs in the movie.
Jonathan Davis couldn't be on the album at all due to it.
So he wrote the songs and was the voice, the vocalist in this, but then they had to get other artists to re-record the songs for the album.
Yeah.
Which did a great job as well.
Do you buy them and then just rip them anyway? Or
I haven't.
Or you listen to CDs?
Yeah, like the one I think there are some that I have that are technically not on Spotify. Like I have the Music for a Darkened Theatre, the Danny Elfman one. I don't think that's on Spotify. But
I bought that. It was the first thing I ever bought from Amazon. When Amazon meant pay $60 for a CD and wait 2 months for it.
Oh no, there are some that aren't on there. Hang on one sec.
Finding out in real time.
This will be fun, and I will describe them for the listeners who are not viewers. Hackers. Not all of these songs are on Spotify. I bet you didn't know this existed. Hackers Soundtrack Part 2.
Oh, what? Is that the score on one and then the songs on the other? Or is it just more songs?
The score is mostly from songs. So, they're just songs. But these are like other songs that weren't on that first one. Like this has got Firestarter remix that's in the movie. It's not on the first disc. And then this one, Hackers Part 3.
No way.
Music inspired by the movie Hackers.
Inspired by it. Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great.
I had to have them when I found out.
No, of course. Yeah.
That album will not be on Spotify.
No, none of them are. People have made playlists cobbled together of the songs that are in the movie that you can get, but the actual they're not really on there. Ooh.
No.
This week, Luke.
It is a StreamYard problem.
It is. Luke, you fell off.
Okay, Luke. Ciao for now. He's gone. Hopefully he'll be back soon.
Yeah. Last one in.
Now, I hope, because you started the session. I wonder what happens if the person who started the session drops out. So fingers crossed that doesn't happen.
Affected with whatever this is.
Yeah. Computer aids. Comprades. So while Luke's gone, because he won't be interested in this anyway.
I hope he's realised and he's not just talking.
Yeah, he's just gone. He's gone on. I watched something with a very good soundtrack in it this morning. I watched the first part of a 3-part miniseries from 1998, so it's very topical. It just occurred to me yesterday. Remember there was a miniseries called Merlin that starred Sam Neill as Merlin?
Yes.
Yeah. Welcome back, Luke. Your turn this time.
I've changed browsers.
He's back from the bottom of the ocean.
I don't think it's that, man. I think it's...
when I tried to log in Chrome, it did say, "Hey, there's an issue with Chrome at the moment." So I logged in on Edge.
And I am using Chrome, so
I'm using
could be Chrome.
It was complaining about the virtual background, so I've just gone with the blur now.
Oh, see, interesting. The only thing I did differently last week was a blur. So this week I'm doing no filters. That's the only thing I did differently that I thought.
You know what? I've got a blur, but it's done by my computer, not by StreamYard.
So that's probably what it is. So I'll turn off the blur as well.
I think you should. Yeah.
You can just look at my green screen.
Please. Yeah, just to finish, Matt, I suddenly remembered that this existed and that I really liked it when I was young. Yeah. And in my mind, over the last 20 to 25 years, this had merged with the TV series also called Merlin, which had nothing to do with it, right?
Right, sure. In fact, when you said that, I was like, no, wasn't that a TV series?
No. There was a TV series, like 2005, but 1998, 3-part miniseries, very good. Watch the first part today. Just good. Is that the 90s made-for-TV high fantasy?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And he's excellent. He is excellent. But the musical score in it is very cinematic. It's it wasn't anybody that I recognized. I thought, oh, this is going to be someone's name that I recognized, but early in their career, no one I recognized.
I remember it being weird at the time that Sam Neill, sort of at the height of his career, like Jurassic Park, then goes and does this made-for-TV series. I always found that weird, even at the time.
Had a good cast though. John Gielgud, Miranda Richardson. Like it was all the kind of the really good British
Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah. Miranda Richardson's Lord of the Rings. She's
she not? Am I thinking of someone
Sleepy
else?
Hollow?
Oh yeah. Okay, I know who you mean. Yeah.
I think she's passed on now, actually.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, no, it is like someone else I'm thinking of, but yeah, I know. Queenie.
Are you thinking Miranda Otto?
I am thinking of Miranda Otto. Is she Queenie, the person you're talking about?
Queenie.
Blackadder?
Yes. Yeah, Queenie, okay. Yeah.
There you go.
I know who you're talking about now. Only because you spoke about Blackadder.
Yes. Yeah, I got to rewatch that.
Yeah. Just watch the first and final episode of season 1 and then just be done with that. And then just every episode of every other season after that.
Yeah. That's the last time I tried to watch it. I was like, oh yeah, the first one's...
That first season is very tough.
I actually brought it on Audible, and I sometimes will listen to it, and the jokes still land, and you can still visualize it. But then it gets to the end, and then they talk about the making of it and stuff, and it's actually quite interesting. And
that is interesting.
Is it a re-recording or something, or is it just the audio of the show?
Just audio of the show.
Wow,
that's fascinating.
And it works.
I used to do that as a kid. Because I didn't have a TV in my room. Used to tape the audio. Using it again, cassette tape, just holding up. Well, I didn't have like a auxiliary jack or anything. I would literally just put right in front of the TV.
One of those tape recorders with like Fisher Price, with a little microphone on the side.
I had a real tape recorder. Mine wasn't Fisher Price, but that's still how I did it. Yeah. But just talking about physical media now, it must be because things are starting to disappear, and it actually took me a while to stop buying CDs and DVDs especially. And to just go completely digital. But now I just more and more want to go back.
Same. And every time there's some news article, it's like, see, this isn't the right way to do it.
I've gone back to books as well.
Books are the same, yeah.
Like I've got a Kindle here, but...
Yeah. I listened to a podcast that had an interview with this woman wrote a book, and basically her whole thing was about people don't read enough, which I guess I do agree with. People's attention spans, I think, have suffered due to the internet. Basically, that seems to be fairly true. Just talking about people don't read books, but then she got really hardcore on it and was talking about how reading on a Kindle
doesn't count.
And I was like, well, hang on, you've lost me there.
You've still consumed the book. Sorry.
Yeah. Do you have any evidence that there's a difference between me looking at the words on a Kindle?
Yeah.
And I know people say even looking at a Kindle's different to a screen because
it's different, but I don't see why it doesn't count. I also think, sometimes when I say, I read such and such, somebody goes, did you read it or did you listen to the audiobook? Well, it doesn't matter whether or not the voice in my head is narrating it to me as I look at the words, or whether I think Stephen Fry is doing it.
I think there's a
But you've still read the book. You couldn't say, you'd be like, no, never read it, mate. Got no idea what's in that book.
The only thing, there is a difference in that I find, if a book isn't engaging enough, I'll actually stop reading it with my eyes. Whereas if it's an audiobook, I'll just be daydreaming.
Just glaze over. Yeah.
And, like, so in a sense, that's different. But then it's not really different because I wouldn't have been reading it anyway. I would have stopped. I would have put it down. Like,
yeah.
So
was now you just lost. Oh, meanwhile, I started to listen to Incarcerat, book 2 of Garth Marenghi.
I'm gonna see if that's available here yet.
Pretty funny. The first, because it's short stories again, like the other ones, like an anthology. The first one, he has given up writing and he's become a pilot, but he's cursed. So that every night his plane crashes and everyone on board dies except for him. And people are like, could you just not fly the plane anymore? And he's like, why would I do that? He's like, you don't know what it's like being cursed to kill hundreds of people every night. And they're like, just don't fly anymore.
That guy, the actor, I forget his name. He's very funny because he's been doing a live tour in the UK. Sadly,
shit.
I was trying to see. So he's doing this tour and there's clips of it on YouTube and that. And he takes audience questions as Garth Marenghi.
Does it? And amazing.
He's very quick because there was one I was like, oh my God, that's really good. Someone in the audience just stood up and said, when will mankind finally return to the sea? Right? Silly question. Audience laughs. Yeah. And he goes, usually in the summer.
Amazing. Yeah.
Great answer. Yeah,
that's fantastic. Funny. So the whole show is a Garth Marenghi show? Or he just...
excerpts from the book, as far as I can tell, and tell stories and stuff. Yeah,
and then Q&A.
Yeah,
but when he reads excerpts, he's in character as the author, Garth Marenghi, not as the author, the comedian. Yeah, amazing.
I believe he's always in character. Yeah.
I would like to see that. Yeah,
bring it to Australia.
Sometimes they come to Australia.
Yeah,
I never hear about them until they've already left.
Yeah, I think it's more likely he would go to Australia than come here because no one here has even seen the fucking TV show. You can't get it here. I have to.
It's closer, but it's further away in terms of style.
Like it's on YouTube, but like there is no streaming service that has it. Not even BritBox. Like,
BritBox America's
hit and miss.
Different. It likes its own thing. America'd like a remake of it. I think that could be quite good.
Yeah, it's not
where you lose the humor and they just tell you when to laugh.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
it's funny because my wife's job, which I won't say what it is, but she's the manager of Australia, New Zealand, and Canada, right?
Yeah.
That's her jurisdiction. There's a person who does it in America as well, and you would think, well, why don't they just do Canada rather than flying somebody from Sydney? And they're like, so different. Humor. They're like, Canada is more like Australia than America is.
Yeah, I believe it.
Because it's still got the ties to our queen or our king now.
It's like the British office, like. And I'm not saying not everybody here doesn't get it, but like people, it's not the type of humor here, I guess, culturally.
But I will admit, like they did do a good
confusing.
I think they did do a good job of the US office. I think
it's its own thing. Yeah, but it had to be, and they proved that by the first season being just verbatim the British scripts, and it just not working. Like as soon as they started writing for those characters, it was fun.
Like I learned here when I started working here. And dealing with like people at work, or people who at work got to know me, less of an issue. But if I was like talking to clients or something like that, the kind of self-deprecating, sarcastic humor, right? That I do it all the time. I maybe less so now because it's like been squeezed out of me, but it just doesn't land. And there have been times where I've told what I thought was pretty funny joke in a meeting, and it's just dead fucking silence. I'm like,
story of my life.
Like Matt. They just don't know that I'm joking.
You need to bring a little app on your phone that's a laugh track.
But then, so the secret is just don't do it, or you have to really lean into it.
Just commit.
Like, make it super obvious that you're joking.
Yeah. It's not just a little bit small. It's fucking tiny.
Yeah, you can't be subtle like with sarcasm.
Like I cannot be jacked off. Cannot be. Try it. Everyone try it.
Don't say that in meetings anymore.
I said something stupid yesterday, but only to myself. But I embarrassed myself about how dumb I was. But we went to McDonald's.
Really beat myself off about it
yesterday.
Beat myself up about it.
Went to McDonald's and Harper got a Happy Meal for the first time. Happy Meal, and she was
Did she get over the moon or a burger?
Nuggets. She can't just eat a burger. You know.
I don't know.
No. I'm telling you. I'm just saying she can't. She barely eats a nugget. But
she got a toy.
Comes in the box. Well, okay. So the toy, right, was this little cardboard video game cartridge.
Okay.
With Crash Bandicoot on it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And it said Crash Bandicoot memory card game. And I was like, that's fucking brilliant. I couldn't wait to open it and get this memory card out. And I'm like, but what does it go into? PC? And then I was like, I opened it and all these little cards came out. I'm like, oh, it's a memory card game, not a memory card game. I thought, fuck, they have upped the ante on this.
Because they know kids don't know what a memory card is anymore.
Yeah, so I had to remind myself that, like, they would write SD card or something. They would, like,
or just it's just in the cloud.
It's just that's right. Here's your
Unless
code.
you're on Nintendo, because Nintendo hasn't figured the cloud out yet.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe in the Switch 3.
Maybe next year. Apparently, we're getting a new Switch.
Well, they're also talking about us getting a new Xbox this year.
How about just get rid of one of the two Xboxes they currently have in the market?
Well, they're doing something I think they should have done with the first one. So it's not like brand new. It's going to be like slight improvements, but it's going to be basically the Series X, but without a disc drive.
Okay.
Oh,
but they always do that. They do bring out a mid-term version. That's not the first time they've done that. So okay,
I always thought it should have been that way when they released it. That the X should have been not have a disc drive, and the S should have had a disc drive. I think they got it back to front with the audience.
Yeah, I would say so.
I was going to say I've got disc games, but not Series X games. I've got
Xbox
neither. One X games on disc. Yeah. Never a Series X.
Yeah.
Game.
Yeah. Same. Can you pop a disc into your Xbox and then play it through the cloud handheld? You must.
Oh,
I've not tried that, but
yes, because
you should be able to because it just streams from the Xbox.
Correct me if I'm
You're not streaming from in the cloud.
Even if you buy the disc, it has to copy the disc onto the hard drive.
But you'd have to have the disc in the drive.
Yeah, but if the disc was in,
because it doesn't run off the disc. It's basically no difference. The disc is basically just DRM.
Yes.
And you don't have to download it, except you probably do because every game has a day one patch, which is basically the whole game again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't actually.
Every time I go to play Conan Exiles, I have to re-download it because there's a patch that's just the game again.
Yeah, but in their defense, it's probably been a year since you played it last.
Yeah,
and they're just trying to give you more
every time. Yeah, that's right. For free every time. Yeah,
we added an extra type of dick that you can.
No, Dan doesn't get the dick.
No,
that's right.
I don't get.
When he brought it, he was in Singapore. I got the dick.
I never get the dick.
I got the dick.
So if you've ever been in Singapore, you never get the dick.
They know. Yeah, they know you're there.
Actually, I could probably install it on yours and you would have it.
The dick.
You fucking better not install your dick on me, mate.
Let Luke put his dick in your Xbox. Just do it. Look, there's a piece of follow-up in here I want to know about. It says Luke might be able to go to Mars.
Really?
So we talked about, was it Mars X? What was it called?
Mars 1.
Mars 1, that's right, where they were trying to recruit people.
Now, my mission.
A, it turned out not to really be a thing anyway, and B, you didn't actually fill out the form.
So you're wasting money, but not your time. So
that's right. Yeah. You're $30 to get the entry form. NASA, who are slightly more.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, they're more accredited than Mars One, whoever that is. Depends who you talk to, right? Luke's people deny that there even is a NASA.
Mostly successful missions.
They are calling for volunteers to live for 1 year in a Mars situation.
Okay.
So a Mars-like environment it's the Texan desert. What's the desert in Texas called?
The big desert.
Big old desert. Yeah. The barbecue sauce desert.
You're
in the same type of.
You've got to put on a suit. You've got to worry about air and food.
You live in the same kind of, domicile than you. See whether how long it takes for you to all go mad and murder each other.
I would love for Luke to be stuck in a The Martian style situation where
just by himself.
Yeah. Where but he has to pretend that it's serious. Like in The Martian, there's a he's going to die, right?
Yeah,
but like, if Luke really wants to go on this mission, he has to fucking pretend this is real.
Yeah.
He's got to grow potatoes
think that it is
in the habitat.
Yeah. Using the waste of his former colleagues.
That's right.
Would I have Xbox?
That's what have to
yes, but you'd only have an Xbox 360, so you could only play games and you wouldn't get any achievements.
Right,
so you could play for fun. Yeah.
See that's where it's got me. Like, I understand I should still be able, if I can get achievements still. I don't need to play online.
I was going to say, here's a question. You will definitely know the answer to this. If you're not online, do you still get achievements?
You still get the achievements.
And it just syncs up later?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
But you would come back from Mars and just, like, blast up the ladder, potentially.
Yes.
It would have just all... Yeah, they'd be like, oh, you're way behind.
And you'd be like, my muscles have atrophied, but I am number one in Australia. So
I think I'd still be able to... I'd still be able to download games. They'd just be slow, wouldn't it?
The thing is, Luke would be on another planet, or, in the desert, let's say, at the very least.
So I did escalate that by accident.
Yeah, playing nothing but Xbox, because, like, fuck it, the potatoes, he'd be like, whatever, I'll just drink my own urine. And and he'd come back and
potatoes in the shit, or
there'd still be some 14-year-old who managed to somehow be able to spend more time on it and be ahead of him.
And the NASA engineers would be like, "What's he up to today? What do you fucking think he?"
That's right. Yeah.
I mean,
they'd be like, "Well, we should have put a webcam on him so we could watch his every movement." And somebody's like, "I've logged into Twitch, and I can tell you exactly what he's doing."
Yes.
I'd give it a crack. I reckon I could. No, I wouldn't. I'd hate it. I like the idea of it, but yeah.
In what way?
Food. How's that?
Yeah. Okay. So, in what way, practical ways, would this differ from your current life? Because you're not exactly a guy who goes out a lot.
Oh, but it's more about the growing the food and stuff like that. Like, and how do I've got to set up a still?
I've got to learn for your own alcohol.
Yeah.
The first thing he's like, how do I get drunk? If I'm going to do this, I need to be loaded. So
the ship, he's like fucking in orbit again. He's going to Mars now. It's not in the desert anymore. He's going to Mars, and he gets up into orbit, and he's like, "All right, let's crack open a bottle." And they're like, "Oh, this is a dry mission." No.
Yeah. Let me out!
Eject me now.
That's why the first thing I do, I'm going to learn to jerry rig up a still.
They've noticed he's broken into the air ducts, xenomorph style, right? And he's dropped down into the med bay, and he's just putting like alcohol wipes like on his tongue just to try to absorb.
Okay, and then I believe this is legal. I don't know about. I think it's legal in some.
Mate, on Mars, everything's legal.
Yeah. All right. So it's not legal to distill, right?
Yes.
In Australia, certainly. Here in Rhode Island, it's not. Other states, actually, it would be in Rhode Island if it wasn't federally illegal. I think. Anyway, I can't distill stuff. Neither can you. But what you can do, apparently, right?
Try and stop me.
I learned this from an Italian man on YouTube who I follow for cooking stuff. If you
cooking stuff
ferment.
It's called Monsieur Meth.
I forget what he started with, but basically you ferment quite a strong wine, right? Then you put it in bottles and you freeze it, right? Overnight. The next day, you invert the bottles into another container, let it drain the liquid that comes out almost immediately, then just fuck the ice right off.
Right.
Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. You are
until all you have
rid of everything except the alcohol. And you can make rum.
I mean, that sounds like a lot of effort. I've got a Dan Murphy's membership,
Luke, have a lot
and they deliver.
Gonna have a lot of time.
So there you go. You could potentially do that. You would just need some yeast. So maybe if Amaranth is on the mission with you, you'd be covered.
Imagine that. Imagine. You're on a solo mission to Mars, and then we're going to send you up. We're going to send you someone, and he's like, finally a companion, somebody I can talk to, somebody I can engage with, and they're like, it's Amaranth. You'd be like, send me home, fuck off. And tell her to wash her fucking vagina before she gets here.
I want to clarify in case listeners don't know what I'm talking about and they think I'm just saying that
No,
she's dirty.
No.
She made beer from her yeast.
Yes.
That's why I made that joke.
And sold it.
That is dirty. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
But don't be like, oh, she's not dirty. It's just that you can drink her vagina juice. Like, no, that's fucking filthy, mate.
I didn't mean for it to be like a misogynist joke. I'm judging a specific thing that she did.
I would judge a man if they did that as well, quite honestly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Show me a man that's done it, I'll judge him.
I saw a poster online, and of course, there's no guarantee that these things are real that you see, but the fact that somebody put it there and it tickled them makes me think that maybe it is. But it was a run for gender equality, but the finish line for men was further than the finish line for women,
right?
Which I thought was funny if it's true. If it's not, well, then it's less funny.
Could be one of those internet things.
I think it is.
All right. So Luke's going to Mars. I'm going to see Dune. What are you doing this weekend, Dan?
Well, I would have seen Mary Poppins, but it's racist.
That's right.
What? I'm going to need a parent to guide me, and I'm an orphan, so...
I had to look up what the problem was with this, and then even when I saw it, I was like, oh, I wouldn't have known that was racist.
No. I wouldn't have known that you're not allowed to say the word... Can we even say it on this podcast?
I don't know. That's why I was like, maybe we shouldn't say it.
You know what? I'm going to say it, and if you want to come at me, internet, you can come at me. The word is Hottentot.
Yeah.
Which they also say in the Wizard of Oz.
Really?
Because the Cowardly Lion says, what makes the Hottentot so hot?
Huh.
Who puts the ape in apricot?
I would not have known in a million years that was a racist thing. It just sounds like a funny word to me.
I think it's only racist because it's incorrect. Like, I don't think people go, you're a filthy Hottentot. I think it's just that we colonized parts of Africa and started misnaming the tribes there. So instead of using their real name, we call them Hottentots. The article says
it's a racially insensitive term for the South African indigenous group, the Koko. So, okay.
Yeah. I think it's like calling an Inuit an Eskimo.
Sure.
Like, it's not racist.
Okay.
It's not racially charged. It's just insensitive because it's not the right word.
Native American
Indians.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So is it just? So does it change anything? It's just going to be like, here's a warning.
The rating of the film has been changed to PG
from G, presumably,
where it has been for 60 years,
forever.
Yeah. Maybe more. About 60 years. Yeah.
It came out in 1964.
Mm-hmm. So exactly 60 years. Wow.
My math is sound.
Is fucking dead on. Yeah.
Oops. Good job, me. Okay. I wouldn't, honestly, even if I watched it, I would not have noticed because, like I said, that word. I'm not sure if you've heard that before.
I did watch this at the end of last year. Yeah.
You were talking about how hot she is.
Yeah, she's beautiful. She's fucking beautiful. And there's a whole song where he's like singing about he wants to bang her, and her verses are all about how she knows that she can be saved with him because he's never going to touch her.
Right. And they're all like,
so they knew she was beautiful. Yeah, he's like, I want to make it perfectly clear that I would touch you. Yeah, he looks at the audience through the camera and goes, "This is the actor Dick Van Dyke talking now. I would 100% hit that."
I want you to know.
Okay, well, it's sort of not going to change because I probably wasn't going to watch it anyway, and I'm old enough to watch it. So,
yes. No, I just thought it was interesting.
It's a good movie. Yeah, I watched something the other day on Disney that had one of the warnings. Oh, Dumbo. It was Dumbo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you know what else I discovered about Dumbo? Not a very good movie.
Oh, no. Hang on, the new one or the old one?
No, the old one.
The old one. Yeah.
The old one. Yeah, just wasn't very good.
Really?
Like we're watching a lot of Disney at the moment. Some of them are some of the best movies ever made. This is not one.
Man, good movie.
That was excellent. That was dead set excellent. Neither had I.
Good stuff. Do you know the one thing that's odd about this to me? Right, they changed it from G to PG, which presumably the point of that would be only older kids can watch it. But like, no kids are going to know what the fuck that
No, adults are. If it's parental guidance because you want kids to go, "Mummy, what's a Hottentot?" The answer is going to be like, "No fucking idea, son."
No.
Like,
not sure. The people who used to say that
is a word. Now. Yeah, that's right. From a long, long time ago. It was probably an outdated word when they made that movie, because I think the person who says it is that old colonial admiral who lives on the roof. And he's supposed to be spouting out-of-date, old, retired general stuff.
Yeah, he's supposed to sound like a crazy old man. Yeah, it's just... I just think the changing of the rating is an odd choice, because it's not going to make any difference. Nobody knows...
No. Something just... wait.
Go on.
It just occurred to me why this is racist, and it is.
Okay.
You know when he says it?
No.
It's when the kids have been in the chimney and they've got soot on their faces, and he says, "You look like Hottentots," or something to that effect.
Okay.
So actually, that probably is racially charged. If you think about it.
Well,
there you go.
Swap the word out for another word, and suddenly you can understand why it's like PG now.
Dwight Piet.
Yeah.
Who is he's just covered in soot, as we've
to be very clear.
We had a Dutchman on here.
Yeah. Who? Yeah, that's right. Well, Luke, you were saying you changed your stance on blackface. You want to enlighten us? I think you said something about saying it on the show.
Change the subject.
Yeah, okay.
What else do we have?
We'll
you finished Alan Wake 2 again.
I did. I'll say this.
Talking to me. I haven't started it.
Yeah.
You've got to play it. Dude.
You do have to play it. It's very good.
First one first. I never finished
it.
You
don't.
Yeah,
you don't,
well,
you don't.
Well,
play the first one. It does help.
To tell you what you should do, go and watch all the cutscenes on YouTube.
I should do that, because Alan Wake is a bit of a slog, if I recall.
If Alan Wake 1 didn't have one of the best written stories of any video game, and just had that tedious ass combat the whole way through. I was enjoying
the story. It's the combat that just made me go, no.
Whereas they fixed that in 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 2010, when it came out, I got it, played it, and quit like a quarter of the way in, because I was like, this is boring.
Yeah.
The combat is
I really found
boring.
The combat boring in particular. Everything was great.
And when I played it again last year, the remaster, I still felt it tedious, but the story was good enough to propel me. Whereas the sequel, it's more story, less combat, and they've made the combat, it's essentially the same thing. Torch to get rid of their kind of shadow armor, and then you shoot them with a gun.
But there's not as many. You could actually run past a lot of them sometimes.
Yeah. You couldn't do that in the first one. You could not avoid it. You had to wait.
Everyone, otherwher it wouldn't let
before it let you progress. Yeah,
I can just run through the forest, run past them, not worry about it. And then
and in fact, it's your torch that
better and better.
Now I'll say this: the only thing that changes in the second playthrough is you get a different cutscene for the ending at the end. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend a second playthrough unless you just loved it so much you wanted to play through it again.
You could just watch the cutscene.
Just watch the cutscene
on YouTube, presumably.
Yeah. And it's not all... Well, I guess it's different to the first one, but it's still just the same people in the same room having a conversation. It's just that they say something different, right? So it's not vastly different. It's just that the outcome is changed. I still enjoyed playing it, but I started going, oh, wait, I've still got to do that whole section. Like, it's, like straight away after it was. But anyway, I finished it. I liked it. I don't need to play it again.
You've just reminded me of something that I needed to mention. But I will wait until you finished talking about Alan Wake 2. Because
I finished talking about Alan Wake 2. Yeah. I was just going to point out 2 other quick Remedy-related things, which is they have promised a Max Payne remake.
Yes, that's in the works.
Which is good, because I would love to replay that, but it just looks rudimentary.
Yeah, you could not go back and play it that original as is now.
Mind you, I'm
remake and not just an upscale.
It would have to be. It would have to be.
Yeah.
No, I'm not interested in that. And yet, I'm halfway through the original Silent Hill, the PS1 version at the moment, and it is still as good as it was on day one. And in fact, the clunky controls and the shitty resolution just add. It's genius. It's genius that adds to the experience instead of detracts from it. So that's the exception that proves the rule. But also, Remedy have just purchased the rights to Control back from the publisher.
I didn't know that they.
Well, the publisher retains certain copyright when you get them on board, so they can't publish without you, but you can't do a game without them. Yeah, and they now own the rights 100%. They paid millions of dollars for it.
Yeah, right.
So I guess we're getting Control too.
which I'm looking forward to that.
It'd be pointless buying it.
I like Control 1.
Yeah.
And now if you look at it, it's this whole big world that's now...
Yeah. And there's things in Control that I'm like, they've really extrapolated. Like in the first time you ever enter the house in Control, there's paintings on the wall. One of them is the fucking janitor, who's like a main character in Alan Wake 2. Amazing. I'm liking this shit. And I'm the first person to say don't link up all your stuff Marvel style. But this works very well.
Yes.
Marvel's been having some trouble lately. I'm interested to see what the hell they're going to do.
Well, I haven't even seen the last movie, Marvel.
No one has. That's the problem.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that either.
Well, I think I'll go back to what they should have done. Endgame, we're done. We'll see it again in a few years, and we'll restart.
You know what's funny, though? Marvel changed their demographic slightly to try and target a wider demographic and failed a little bit.
Yeah.
And to stop beating around the bush, their decision was more female leads will bring more females into the theatre. And they found that to be absolutely not the case.
Yeah.
Right?
Doesn't seem to be.
Doesn't seem to be the case. But ironically, other studios who have tried to copy that, i.e. Sony with, not Ms. Marvel, what's it called? Madam Web, in its entire run so far, still hasn't made even what Morbius made in its first weekend. Like, they are going fucking bankrupt over this.
But, I mean, that's not... I mean, from what I understand, I haven't seen the movie, but it's not just like... Not just because they're female leads. Apparently it's just shit. I mean, Morbius was also shit.
But what I'm saying is they're following that model that's trying to be what Marvel tried to do.
Yeah.
And other people are copying them and also failing for the same reasons.
I think Sony just need to just give up and just go, here, you can have Spider-Man back.
Just sell it. Marvel will buy it.
Yeah. I thought that Kraven the Hunter trailer looked awful too, so...
Yeah, they just need to sell it. You'll make more money than what you're doing by trying to make your own movies. Because it's not working.
No, I've not really loved...
Sony made some great Spider-Man movies when it was their time to do it.
Well, there's some news on that. I put this article in because I forgot to put it in before. But
yeah. Hello.
So this is interesting, right? Hayden, what's his name? Thomas Hayden Church, right? The guy who played Sandman in Spider-Man 3.
And Ned in Ned and Stacy, the old sitcom, if you remember that.
That's what I know him from.
Yeah, same.
He was being interviewed just about something else, and they were talking about comic book movies, and then he dropped this little hint, right? He said, I think Sam's going to do another Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, and that's the one that they had an option for me to do Spider-Man 4, and I'm still technically, I still have an option for that, so I'm not sure if they're going to have me back, but he's like,
I mean, he was the least interesting villain in the least interesting of the movies, but sure.
No, but he presumably would know if that was something.
I guess so, unless there's certain... I mean, I don't know there's machinations of Hollywood deals, but maybe they have to keep certain things open if they ever just want to do anything again. And so they have to still pay this guy every 5 years a check or something just to...
Right, keep him...
So they're not fucked with their licensing.
Yeah, but the way he said it was, he goes, he's like, I think he's doing another one with Tobey Maguire, and then when they did was the No Way Home, right? They brought back all those characters, and everyone was like, oh man, we missed those movies. So like now would be the time if you're going to do that. Like
definitely,
and also don't wait, just fucking do it.
Yeah,
right? Now's the time because Sam Raimi's not getting any younger, and those actors aren't getting any younger.
Yeah, Toby's not going to be able to do it for much longer.
But like
those Spider-Man movies,
nostalgia thing.
I don't like the third one as much as the other two, but it's one of those ones where I thought the second one was maybe even better than the first one. Like it's just they were great. They were great.
Great adventure movies. Yeah. So I'd love it if Raimi did another one. But
yeah, why not?
He always wanted to do the Vulture. Remember that was the joke that I was going to play the Vulture?
Yeah.
Until Michael Keaton stole my role.
Well, I think it might be time to bring your vulture back.
Now's the time.
As in thumbnail form.
Maybe. Excellent. I wanted to mention a game that I was playing. We get a lot of press release emails, and normally there's just so many, and this one really caught my attention, right? And I'm going to tell you what the premise of this is.
Okay.
It's an adventure game, a pixel art adventure game on the Switch. Well, it's on other platforms too, actually, but I'm playing it on the Switch. Where you play a character who dies at 7 minutes to 8, and then you start again, but things are subtly different every time, and you have to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Huh.
And
that sounds very cool.
You basically have he dies at 7:57, and I think you wake up at like 25 past 7.
Right.
And every time you exit a room and enter a new room, time ticks by.
Yeah.
And there are certain events that always happen at exactly the same time, but there are also other events that may or may not happen on one particular cycle through.
So you've got time to sort of...
Even people and objects in the world can be different every time too.
Okay.
Very cool.
Yes.
Okay. What is this game called?
Oh, sorry. Did I not say it's called 3 minutes to 8?
3 minutes to 8. Okay.
It's like $15 on US, on Steam and on the Nintendo Switch store. It's really good. It's really cool.
I never played... There's a game called 12 Minutes, right?
I've heard of it.
Yes.
Where you respawn and live the same 12 minutes and have different things to do.
Yeah, I think it sounds a bit like that. Like with that one, that 12 minutes, it was basically you could do different things, whether you'll make dinner for your wife, but then something happens and then you remember what happens, and so you're trying to work out the story, and that was a good game as well. This is very much like that, and I enjoyed that one as well. So come to Xbox.
Excellent. This looks excellent. Who made this?
It's just
Chaos Monger.
I think just one guy. Yeah, there's even a little message pops up at the start, which I was like, oh, it's a little pretentious, but
sure.
I think he's like a Scandinavian guy. But then I started playing it. I'm like, oh no, this is good. Like,
PlayStation, Nintendo. Bring it to Xbox and we'll talk.
It's all right. I'll play it on Nintendo, no problem.
Yeah.
I'm looking for stuff to play on the Switch.
No, I reckon.
I'm looking for excuses.
The reason I thought of it is because you had said about Alan Wake.
Oh, hold on.
There are a fuck ton of different endings to this game.
This is on Xbox.
Oh, it is?
Oh, it is?
Good.
It is.
There you go. Check it out.
Came out in December. I'm going to buy this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a cool game. Really cool.
What's the cost on Xbox?
$22.45.
Oh, yeah.
That'll teach you to live in Australia.
So, did you say it was $3 for you, Matt?
No, I was just messing.
Oh, yeah, it's $14.99 American.
Yeah. I mean, conversion-wise, it's probably the same.
Yeah, that's the same. Yeah.
And
remember that when they released, was it Borderlands finally came to Steam, and they accidentally put it at $40. It was just the same as the US price, and everyone like lost their shit because they were like, "Oh, I thought they were more expensive because of shipping or whatever." And then they increased it.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh yeah, you're right. It is. Here you go."
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Pay more.
The third run called.
That does look good.
Yeah,
Reach run number 8. I'm just looking at the achievements.
Yeah, it's good for like a little indie game. You can pop it on Switch in particular. You can pop it on, play through a little bit, turn it off, come back to it in a bit.
Yeah.
Or do what Luke's going to do: find a guide and
just run through it all. Yeah.
Yeah. I still enjoy games that way.
So how you played through Bluey? Did you need a guide for that? I'm assuming
I did.
What, you did? You did not.
It was some of the plants.
Oh, that's right. We talked about this. Yeah.
Like, how am I meant to... I grew, and then I had to still water it another 5 times. How am I meant to know that?
You figured that out?
Your child?
My child. But in Luke's defense, she was just running around watering plants.
Just doing stuff.
Clearly did not need watering either. So she was just pouring.
Because they knew that, yeah.
So.
We watched a bit of Bluey this morning. In fact, we watched the same episode 4 times today.
Oh,
because when it ended, my daughter would say, "Pass the parcel again," and we'd have to roll it back.
That's what we have to watch.
She loves it.
Called. Yeah, Lyra calls it Lucky's Dad's Rules.
Mm.
We watched that, and then we either watch Flatpack, which is a good episode.
That's a great... Is that the one where they go through the whole evolution of mammals? Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, and Bluey and Bingo are the mum and the daughter, and yeah, it's great.
It's fantastic. They start out in the sea, and then they get legs, and they get on land, and then they go into the trees, and then they become bipedal.
And they're playing as their parents are assembling a swing up on the
IKEA thing.
Like IKEA thing, and they use the packaging to construct the stuff that they're doing. It's really good. There's that one.
We are getting new episodes soon.
I know.
And a 28-minute long episode.
Mm-hmm. And the other one is Housework. We have to watch a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
You done for the day, are ya? Look at this. When they walk from one end of the room to the other in their normal walk, I'll start working again.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
very good. You gotta watch it, Luke. You gotta watch it.
Oh, I've played the game. That's enough. I just don't have the little person to...
Did you like the game?
Luke
doesn't
kids
like games.
Game?
That's not how Luke even plays games. It's not worth asking him if he likes.
Yeah, that's right.
You gotta get achievements.
He got all the achievements in it.
I'm not sure I got any achievements in my second playthrough of Alan Wake.
You don't. I got 100% of them in one playthrough.
Did you get?
So I know.
Did you get all of them, Dan?
No, I didn't. And actually, there was things like part of the game that I was like, no, because there's things I assume, collect every single one of this one specific thing, and it's like I was collecting them,
setting them up,
and then it was like at a certain point in my second, I was like, no,
they don't.
Like I was.
It's cool story stuff, but you don't need that to.
Yeah. Do you get an achievement for patting every moose head on the wall? I figured you must because she makes a point of it every room she goes into.
I think you do. I know you get one for patting the dog.
Yes, I got the patting the dog one. Yeah, I got that the first time too. That was very cool because you're wondering how that pays off. Like all those little mayoral booths and stuff, and
that's cute. A missable achievement as well.
Oh yeah, because you'd have to go back to Watery for no reason, or just to mop up other.
Yep.
To go back and unlock some gates that you couldn't before.
Just go mop up.
Yeah, just go fucking
like
mop
it's Twin Peaks. The Return.
I put that on last night, Matt.
The Return?
Yeah, and I watched about 10 minutes of two dudes just unloading a truck. And I was like, what is this?
It's fucking David Lynch is so...
There was no music, there was no dialogue, it was just a guy pulls up a truck to another guy's house, and together they just fucking unload some stuff off. I'm like, you gonna cut away to something, or make this cinematic or dramatic in any way?
It's so funny to think back now, like, because I found it to be very good, but people were super disappointed, because you know Kyle MacLachlan, right? He's back, right?
Yeah.
And everyone was like, more Dale Cooper. Can't wait. But he's not Dale Cooper in it. You know that, right?
No.
Dale Cooper gets trapped at the end of Twin Peaks in like the black what's the thing called? Jesus Christ. The room with the red curtains, right? He gets trapped.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
And in
Don't
the Return,
burn the clues.
Yes, he comes back through a power outlet. But he's not Dale Cooper. He's Dougie, a mentally disabled man who lives in Las Vegas. And it takes literally in the last episode, he gets his memory back and he's like Dale Cooper. And at the time, it was...
He's like, bring me my morning coffee.
But then I literally fell in love with Dougie as a character.
Right.
And I don't know, it's hard to explain.
Here's the thing, though. Because halfway through season 2 of Twin Peaks, that character stopped being relevant anyway because he'd solved the mystery he had come to the town to solve, and then they had to just find reasons for him to still be there.
The Black Lodge. That's what it is. The Black Lodge. He gets trapped there at the end of season 2.
Right, yeah.
If you don't know what that is, I can't explain it. You just have to watch the show. And even then, you won't understand.
You won't understand it.
You'll know, but you won't understand.
Mm.
Understanding is not the point.
Yes. And once you know that about any David Lynch movie, like I remember I saw Mulholland Drive and I was like loving it until it ended, and then I was like, that can't be the end. You haven't told me what this movie's about yet. And yeah, that's right. But so, like every scene in that movie is a perfect scene, but it leaves you so unsatisfied because you want there to be a reason behind it, as opposed to him just going, "It's dream logic. It doesn't make any sense." And you're like, "No, not good enough. Tell me what it is."
Because he's always like, "No, there is." And then they go, "Is it this? Is this?" And he goes, "I'm not going to tell you."
Yeah.
It's like, God damn it, dude.
I only just realised though that old man, the logger, the brother of the old woman who owns the mill, is Eraserhead.
Wait, what? Hang on. Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on a minute.
I think you've broken Matt.
Yeah, no, it blew my mind when I realised it too.
Huh.
Because I was looking at the name, I'm like...
I forgot David Duchovny was in it.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't come back in The Return, does he? Because that would entice me to watch it.
You know what?
As that same transvestite.
Remember. Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He's a transvestite in it.
And that would have been before X-Files, right?
Probably, yeah. It
must have been.
Yeah.
But only like 1 or 2 years before. In fact, he probably got X-Files because he suddenly had a decent string of episodes on Twin Peaks.
God, Twin Peaks is great. Anyway.
I couldn't watch Fire Walk with Me because I was going to watch that first, but then I realised it's all the characters and plot points that I don't like, or that I like the least, which is the father and Laura, like that and the love triangle and all of that was the least interesting stuff to me about Twin Peaks.
The reason it's interesting is because of what happens in The Return.
Okay.
And there's some stuff in there that's actually quite... Like, I remember when watching The Return going, oh, wow, like...
Okay.
Yeah, okay. That's... Set that up 40 years ago. Like, nice.
Interesting. Okay. Maybe. We'll see. I've got to watch 2 more episodes of Merlin before I go back to that, so...
I just finished watching the latest season of Drive to Survive.
Ah! Wow, man, you get through that quick.
Well, watch to survive. I mean, it's cool. Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
There's only 10 episodes.
No, I've got to get on that, yeah.
I don't even know what I'm watching lately. It's nothing interesting at all. It's just filler. Filler television.
I had to watch Drive to Survive before the first race of the season. That's my experience.
That was your thing, right? Yeah.
Which is tomorrow.
Last year.
So.
Whereas I look forward to the football starting tomorrow. That'll be my sports thing.
Ah, okay. It's funny because KO, the sports channel here, Luke, you probably do the same because it's $25 a month. You can't keep it going year round. You just cancel it whenever you're out of season for your sport, right?
Yep.
But it knows. Because it's been texting me all week going, F1 stars this week, Danny. You haven't signed back up yet?
Yeah, I've been getting the same things and I just signed up for it.
Yeah, I'll be like, I'll sign up on the fucking day, mate, because I'm not going to put this on before. Yeah.
We talked about this before. I get the F1 TV here, and it's $50 for the year. And I get...
Oh!
I get
for the whole season?
Yeah. And plus... you can go watch old stuff. They've got like little docos about Ayrton Senna and stuff.
Oh, there is a new doco about Ayrton Senna coming.
So yeah, it's pretty good. I was surprised by how cheap it was because they pay a lot more than that for the fucking AFL, which hardly anybody watches. So maybe that's.
I think it's not available in Australia because KO and Foxtel share the rights to it. So that's why
we have to pay $25
over here, except through Foxtel. So that's why I have to pay them $170 a year or something.
It's actually weird. The game is actually playing closer to Matt than it is to us.
What? Oh, this isn't the Las Vegas game, is it?
This is the Las Vegas game.
Oh, okay.
Kick
So
off
this
the
is
season.
This is Bunnies versus who?
Bunnies versus Manly.
That's this weekend.
Manly.
Yep.
Wow.
In Vegas. Wow.
And then Roosters and Broncos. They both back.
But hold on,
games.
that's not just an exhibition match. That actually
No, that's kicking off the season. That's round one.
Oh, that is interesting. I did not know that.
So playing 2 games, and then 2 games tomorrow, and then the other games start Thursday next week.
Right.
Which I think is to give them time to be able to fly back to be ready for round 2. Yeah.
I watched a pretty good movie this week. I'll just say in the last 1 minute that we've got before we go into the after party. I watched a movie called The Dead Center, which stars and is executive produced by Shane Carruth of Primer fame.
Oh, very cool.
But he didn't write or direct this. He just stars in it, and I think this is the only movie by just some young director, and he read the script and he was like, "I'll put my name on this so that you can get this made."
Yeah, right.
Very good, Luke. Don't bother.
I've just seen a couple of the pictures, and I do not want to watch this.
They just. No, I'm just saying, don't bother because they don't really give you a good enough explanation. The Dead Center.
Dead Center.
He's a psychiatric doctor in an emergency ward. Ooh. And they get this patient in with mysterious stuff happening.
Interesting. Have you seen? We might have talked about this. What's it called? It's the Autopsy of Jane Doe.
No, but you did tell me to watch that.
Yeah, you definitely should watch that. It's fucking incredible. Luke, don't bother. Maybe.
Okay, got it on the list now. Okay, great.
It's really good. Really creepy.
Excellent.
Yeah, really good atmosphere.
I don't get creepy.
You don't get creepy?
No.
You used to get creepy when we were younger.
Oh yeah, I'll get creepy with you, mate.
Where I do get creepy.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Where's that?
Yeah. The Mobile Quicks at Warrington. Oh, the after party. All right.
It's not the Quicks anymore.
It's not the Quicks anymore. No.
There's no Gorilla Dogs. The second they got Gorilla Dogs, or the second they got rid of cheese for Gorilla Dogs, that place went downhill.
I've only ever had one of those after drinking at the Henry Lawson Club.
Yep.
I used to get in there, and the Quicks in Emu Plains as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's at the Macca's in Emu Plains.
And I used to like it because management never minded us hanging around there. Because I remember once they spoke to Leith, the guy who worked there, went like, can you not have him hang around, it's bad. And we didn't, and they got robbed.
Yes.
And then they sort of went, yeah, it's fine for you to hang around.
Yeah.
It never caused any problem.
No, we just hung out outside.
Smoking near the pumps was probably not a great idea.
We smoked a lot, didn't we?
Yeah.
Right outside. That was just a thing that you used to have.
I mean, not at the pumps, but I don't think they'd let you do it.
Probably shouldn't smoke around them at all, really.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, someone steps in petrol at the pump and walks into the thing, and probably just shouldn't have done it. Yeah. But I remember they used to give us, let us just refill. Like, if you bought a Slurpee, they just let you go and refill it.
Yep. Unlimited slushies.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm just standing there reading their magazines.
I feel like that whole shopping complex we had benefits at almost every place in there, like the Domino's.
That is true.
Wayne or whoever. Somebody was always working at the Domino's.
Bill worked at the Domino's. And this is what I learned about Domino's from Bill, to my advantage and our advantage, was that during rush hours they always make extra of standard pizzas like Hawaiian, blah blah blah.
Yeah, Hungry Jack's or Burger King now.
Sure,
do that too.
But if they just because they don't want to get a bottleneck, so they've just got a couple already run, but they throw them out.
Yeah.
So if you go to the back door and you knock and you go, "Is Bill here?" No. Well, how about anyone I know? And they'd be like, "Yes." And you'd be like, "Gonna throw out any pizzas soon?" Like the amount of pizzas I ate, on the bonnet of my car, parked in the car park behind that Domino's.
Yeah,
I think they're really not meant to do.
At Hungry Jack's, when you made a burger, you had to tick off on the wrapper. It had 5, 10, 15, 20, 20 at 5-minute increments of the hour. You had to mark on it when you made it.
Yeah.
And I think it was 20 minutes it could be in the warmer.
Right.
And then it goes into a bucket. And that bucket I mean, obviously, at the end of the night, it's too late, right?
Yeah.
But if you can intercept
you were
one of
there.
those on the way to the bucket,
intercept.
yeah,
Yeah, got it.
It's a 20-minute old whopper. Like
I also learned from Bill, they didn't have Parmesan cheese, but enough people asked for it that they would tell them, sure, they will put Parmesan on there and charge you $1.
Do you know what else charges you $1?
The after party?
No, the after party's $5. But $1 gets you this show early every week.
Oh, that's true.
You get it delivered to your inbox, the video and the audio version, for $5 a month. Did I say week? Not a week. A month.
It's not a week. Yeah.
$1 a month for that. $5 a month gets you the after party, where we're going to keep talking for sometimes up to half an hour, 15, 20 minutes.
We'll just see what happens.
We just keep talking every week. And we've got some good stuff, I think, for the after party.
I think we do.
This week. If you want to hear the story of
let's go in there.
Of a band member dosing another band member with estrogen to try and force him secretly to transition, you'll want to tune into the after party this week, because I've got an article for you. Patreon.com/multiplenerdgasm.
I do want to hear about that.
multiplenerdgasm.com/the after party. Join us.
We
will not be spiking the drinks with estrogen, I promise.
We won't need to. We drug our own drinks.
We haven't got enough to go around.
Yeah.
That's all for this week. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoyed the show. If you enjoyed it, then please subscribe in iTunes to receive episodes automatically. We'll see you next time.